Just like one-point perspective, two-point perspective has a horizon line that stands for your eye level. One of the differences is that it has two vanishing points, one at each end. To make it easier, we'll label those points A and B. And two-point perspective basically has three kinds of lines: vertical lines, and the ones that converge at point A and point B. And you start out with a vertical line, and this one will be at your eye level because the horizon line passes right through it. And then you line up the bottom of the line with point A, and also the top of the line with point A. Make sure your ruler makes a straight line all the way to the one point. And then do the same thing with point B. These are the converging lines that we talked about earlier when you learned your vocabulary words. Then you establish the corners of the box by putting your vertical lines on each side of the center line. They have to be vertical and they have to be parallel with the center line. And this will be at your eye level. You only see the sides, you don't see the top or the bottom. So now we'll start with one above eye level. And you always start with a vertical line about as tall as you want your box to be, just like that. And then using your ruler, you draw lines from the top and bottom of the vertical line to point A, and then you do the same thing to point B. And then you draw vertical lines for each one of the corners and make sure they're parallel to the original vertical line. To make the bottom of the box, you line up each one of the vertical lines on the corner with the opposite vanishing point. This one was to point B. And then I draw a line from the other vertical corner to the vanishing point on the other side to point A. Now I'll draw one below eye level so that you can see the top, starting with the vertical line and then lining up the top and bottom of this one with the vanishing points too. First A and then point B. So we still have vertical line and then lines that converge at point A and lines that converge at point B. Okay, then I establish the corners again by making vertical lines that are exactly parallel to the first vertical line that I drew. And then we make the top of the box by lining up each of the vertical lines with the opposite vanishing point. And this one goes to point A. And then you draw a line from the other corner to the opposite vanishing point, point B. And this box is below your eye level because you can see the top and the sides. Now to make a door in the B side, I start out with a vertical line that establishes one side of the door, the side that's closest to that front corner. And then since this is on the B side of the box, I line the top of the line up with the B vanishing point to make the top of the door. Then I establish the other side of the door by drawing in an exactly vertical parallel line. Now I'll make a window on the other side, on the A side, by starting with a vertical line. And then I line up the top and bottom of it with the vanishing point on the A side, since it's on the A side of the structure. And then I add the other side of the window by putting in another vertical line. And you have a basic window. I want to make a trap door in the bottom of this box, so I put in a guide dot to show myself where the corner is going to be. And then I draw a line from that dot to each one of the vanishing points, like this. And that'll give me one end and one side of the trap door. Now, if you can imagine that it'll be a rectangular door, then you know you need to line up with a vanishing point. And then you need to line up with the B vanishing point. And you formed a little rectangular trap door. You could do the same in the top of a building for like a skylight or something like that. Now I'll make a window in the below your eye level box, starting with a vertical line, and then I will line up the top and bottom of that line with the B vanishing point since it's on the B side of the box. And then to finish it off, I add another vertical line for the other side of the window. And there you have it. And there are things you can do to make these openings look more three-dimensional. That's a little bit more of an advanced technique, which we can learn in another lesson.